Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. We are here to finish up the 21-22 season with the Detroit Pistons. We're sitting at 18 and 50, one of the worst teams in the league. So today's sim, we're hoping to finish off the season. But before we do that, we don't ever want to waste time in the season. So we definitely still want to mold some of our younger players. So as we were working throughout the year, we can go into the strategy tab and try to fool around with how our players are playing. So currently, we recently acquired young shooting guard Anthony Simons, and we're trying to tweak his preferences a little bit. We want him to catch and shoot more, to be a three-point threat, and give up some of his drive and kick play. He's not the best passer that we have, so I just want him to gun threes as much as possible. So we still have a few days before this instruction takes effect, or we can see if it takes effect. Sometimes the players reject the instruction, so we'll see how that goes. We are also working with our young power forward that we acquired in Isaiah Roby. We want him to post up more, and we want him to, again, drive and kick less. He's a big man. He doesn't handle the ball well. He doesn't pass nearly as well as some of our other guys. We just want him to be an efficient scorer on the inside. So with that said, I don't want to waste any time just simming along and not getting anything productive out of it. So before the video, I was taking a look at our shooting stats and our young superstar Cade Cunningham. I noticed that his shooting numbers are pretty good across the board, especially from three. He's a nearly 40% shooter from deep. He's got the ball in his hands a lot, and you can see some of his preferences here. He's only catching and shooting 2%. So what that means is when he catches the ball in any one of these four areas, there's a 2% chance that he's just going to shoot from that spot. And considering he spends 58% of his time beyond the three-point line, we're not really getting as many three-point attempts out of him as we would like. So what I'm going to do is we're going to instruct him to catch and shoot a little bit more at the expense of drive and pass. Now I understand he's our point guard, he's a good ball handler, but you can see his passing ability is not quite where we want it yet, and I see much greater value in having him becoming like the alpha male scorer of this team. So if that means we need to get him to shoot more, then that's what we're going to do. So in a second we will instruct him to do just that. And then I was also looking at Killian Hayes, and notice his numbers. He takes 48% of his shots from beyond the arc and is barely hitting at 25%. Not really something we'd like to see. When we take a look at his ball actions, catch and shoots at about 3%, and he spends a lot of time beyond the three. I don't want that happening. He is an attacker. He has that attacker badge. So with that ball handling ability, he should be able to get into the lane. But he's a good passer. And to maximize his abilities, we're going to reduce the amount of time that he spends catching and shooting, which is only 3% of the time. I don't really want him settling for jumpers. He's not a good shooter. But I do want him to drive and pass. Currently 14% of his ball actions are to drive and kick. I want to up that. If I can get the ball in his hands, attacking, getting into the lane, and kicking out to our shooters, like Cade Cunningham, like Anthony Simons, like Sadiq Bey, we could see some good stuff out of him. So hopefully that could kind of salvage his career a little bit. And then I was looking at Isaiah Stewart, and I was thinking, look at his numbers here. He posts up 26% of the time, and then he has catch and shoot 6% of the time. And I'm like, why would I want him to catch and shoot? He's not a good outside shooter. But then I took a look at his stats, and his shooting actually from the mid-range is fairly good. And I don't really want to clog the lane too much. Obviously, he's going to spend most of his time in the paint. But I think I'm going to let him continue to shoot some of those mid-range jumpers. And as you can see again, his floor range, he spends 81% of the time in the post, 18% in the mid-range, 1% from the corner. So if that gives us the opportunity to space the floor just a little bit with him, I have no problem with that. So I'm going to go in and put those instructions in for Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham right now, because I definitely want to utilize this time as best possible. So Cade, again, 1 month. We're going to catch and shoot at the expense of drive and pass. And that ends on 4-11. And let's see, it was Killian Hayes. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to drive and oh, I also want him to stop getting into fights, but I think this is much more important. Drive and pass at the expense of catch and shoot. Oh, I see we can do both. I'd like to see that. Alright, so with that in, I think our depth chart is okay. Yeah, Covington's a little banged up, but he'll play through it. As for the other instructions that we had, Isaiah Roby's instruction is up at March 29th. So let's sim to that point. So sim to date. Now, I don't know if that's going to be into the postseason or not. So let's see. Let's get there, see if that takes. If not, we'll put it in again, and hopefully it takes the second time. Now with 14 games left this this season, we win our first one over the Warriors, which is unexpected. And then we drop one to the Lakers and the Bucks. So, as you can see, the losses will continue to pile up. There's nothing wrong with that. So we're trying to get to March 29th. You can see it's now March 23rd. We hit the 20 win mark. That's can't really say if that was expected or not. 20 wins, nothing to write home about. I would say anything under 25 wins is a pretty abysmal season for any NBA team. So, and then Isaiah Stewart has now officially suffered an injury, so that might be the end of his season. Concussion is out for 9 days. We will swap him with Luka Garza. And then I'll do the same with Kelly Olynyk and then Trey Lyles. So, yeah, we're going to be pretty bad. So, we need to simulate, it looks like, just this one last day. See if the Isaiah Roby strategies took. Let's go to our roster. So, before these instructions, Roby was at 9% post up, 6% drive and pass. As you can see, it did not take 9% post up, still there, 6% drive and pass. So what I'm going to do is put it in, and typically what happens in this engine is if it doesn't take one time, it's going to take the next time. So let's do it again, another month. Why am I choosing a month? Because the longer the instruction, the greater percentage change it'll have. So trying to get the most bang for our buck here. And as I said earlier, Anthony Simons is done it April 5th. So we need to get to April 5th. Let's check these again. Kelly Olynyk, Isaiah Roby again. Yeah, I like to see the young kids playing well. All right, let's get to April 5th to see if our Anthony Simons instructions took. I also feel like we could be experimenting and looking at some contracts, seeing if we could extend some of our guys. But I feel like in the NBA, a lot of extensions aren't agreed upon this late into the season. Players will want to hit free agency. Again, Cade Cunningham, Rookie of the Month. Kelly Olynyk has been pretty bad. Yep, he's been a pretty bad teammate on top of a player as well. All right, so Anthony Simons was 11% catch and shoot, 6% drive and pass. I want to see some changes here. Drive and pass, 6%. Catch and shoot, 11%. Nobody's listening to their coaches. All right, so again, let's put that in one more time. Try to take advantage of it. So Anthony Simons, need you to catch and shoot. Okay. And the other two we put in for Hayes and Cunningham were April 11th. Let's take a look and see if we can get to April 11th. Oh, it's the end of the regular season. Perfect. And we can see where we fall in the standings. at the end of the regular season. Uh-oh, what do we got? I didn't shut off. In total stud. Offer him praise. I don't care if your effort decreases. Keep that attitude high. We want to keep you around, son. All right, let's get to the end of the regular season. We were so close. We lose on the road to Boston to end it. So, is that I think that should be the end of it, right? End of the regular season. Let's check. No, it's not. But let's check our roster, see if those strategies came through. Okay, Cade Cunningham had 2% catch and shoot. We need to see that go up higher. It did not. Wow. Nobody listens to us. And Killian Hayes, we wanted to see drive and pass go up from 14%, and that did not as well. Very interesting. So, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we're 1 day away. That's what it is. Oh, well. Invalid roster. Oh, because Sadiq Bey is injured. Depth chart. Have AI suggest get crazy this last game. Yeah, we would never play this lineup, but what are you going to do? And rightfully so, we lost. Okay, so this looks like playoffs here, but we'll take a look in a second. All right, go to the roster. Hopefully, Cade and Killian Hayes saw some changes. So Cade Cunningham, drive and pass, was at 7%. It dropped to 2%. Catch and shoot went from 2 to 7. So there's your 5% change for working on it for a month. Maybe that was a little bit too much. I don't know. Because I do want him to pass, but he's passing 69% of their. Very nice, 69%. And then 2% as well. So not too bad. Killian Hayes, did yours go through? 14% drive and pass. It did not. So we're going to run that back one last time. So it should go through for Mr. Hayes. So let's work on it. Let's drive and pass at the expense of catch and shoot. That's fine. So then, who else are we working on? Roby is at 427. And Simons has done it May 3rd. What it is what it is. So let's take a look at the standings. So in the conference, the Bucks take the top spot at 63 and 18 in the East. The Pistons are in last. But it looks like, is there one more? Yeah, one more day. Okay, so let's sim this last day of the regular season. Yeah, it looks like there's a big day. Okay. Alright, now we should take a look at the standings. Here we go. Conference. Milwaukee still takes the top spot. And we officially take the last place in the East. 1 game worse than the Cleveland Cavaliers. The top spot in the West, surprisingly, goes to the Utah Jazz. And then a 4-way tie for second with the Nuggets, Clippers, Grizzlies, and the Lakers. Interesting. But when we take a look across the league, the bottom of the standings, we were the 3rd worst team, so we have the 3rd best odds in the lottery going forward. Remember the new lottery odds? The top 4 are lottery positions, and they've been flattened out a bit, so we're in no way are we guaranteed to get a top 3 pick here, but we desperately need it. The Spurs and the Thunder have better odds than we do. We were just a measly 41 games out of the best record in the league. No big deal. Let's take a look at the inbox. Rookie of the month. What else is new? Cade is the man. Go. Let's take a look at the playoffs. Show me the tree. How do I see the tree? No tree. Interesting. if I have to simulate like one game or something. So weird. Maybe his understandings? I don't know. Doesn't look like that. As you can tell, we are not used to being in the playoffs here, so strange that we can't find a playoff tree in here. Well, if you guys know where we could get a view of the here we are. I don't know why it didn't pop up earlier. Oh, maybe there were some G League games that had to be settled. Okay, so like we said, in the West, there was a four-way tie for the second seed. The Jazz secured the top one. So it looks like the Nuggets took the tiebreaker, and then the Clippers, and then the Grizzlies-Lakers will be that 4-5 matchup. Oh, that's what what it was. We go back. These were the play-in games. So the play-in games, Miami and Indiana took it in the East, Dallas and Sacramento in the West, and then Indiana took down Atlanta to secure that 8th seed, and the Pelicans snuck in the West. There it is. So there's your playoff tree. So we have no say in this, so I'm just gonna simulate through this. Let's just simulate through. We're on the 15th. Let's do a month, see what happens. See if there's any massive performances here. Love to see the Lakers lose. I'm a Boston fan at heart, so anytime the Lakers lose, it's like an angel gains its wings. Let's get through this 1 month of playoffs and see what the standings look like in the playoffs and who's left and who's not, and then we'll finish up this season. Wipe our hands clean of it. Nuggets and Grizz. Back and forth. Okay, that could be the West Finals right there we're looking at. Alright, let's look at the tree. So, the Jazz get bounced in the first round. Grizzlies sweep the Lakers. Warriors take down the Clippers in 7. Nuggets over the Mavericks in a no contest 4-1. Gentlemen sweep, as you would say. Grizzlies take down the Pelicans. Ja over Zion. And then the Nugs beat the Warriors. The Nuggets have a 2-game lead in the Western Conference Finals. As you can see on the East, Bucks sweep the Pacers. The Bulls eke out a 7-game series against the Knicks. Sixers take down my Celtics 4-1. Nets embarrass the Heat 4-1, and then take down the Sixers in a sweep. But now are trailing the Bucks 2-0. So let's simulate another game. I can't keep doing this. This screen takes too long. So 3-0 in the West, 2-1. Let's sim a week here. See what happens. All right, the Nugs look like they're going on to see the Bucks in the finals. Jeepers. Oh, you know what? It's simulating. I told it to simulate a whole week, but there's a lot of days with no games right now, so it's trying to get through those. Now here we are in the finals. Nuggets, Bucks, and the Bucks have the home court because they have the best record in the league. Game 1 to Giannis in Milwaukee. Game 2, Giannis again leads the way. 2-0 Milwaukee. Can they go back to back? Does Denver have any fight in them? No, gosh. Despite a 48-point effort from Nikola Jokic, the Bucks go up 3-0. A sweep would really solidify the Bucks as a current dynasty in the NBA. Giannis could be on the top of the NBA mountain. Let's see it. Ooh, the Nuggets fight back. Get themselves a win. 3-1. Is there any hope for Denver? There is. Jokic doing Joker things. 3-2. And there it is. Giannis on the road leads the way to another championship for the Milwaukee Bucks. So there is back-to-back. Very interesting. So, the Milwaukee Bucks win back-to-back championships, and we are now getting ready for the draft lottery. We are going to end today's episode here as we prepare ourselves for the lottery gods to bless us in Detroit. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.